Coming soon to an iPhone or iPad near you, Apple's upcoming iOS 7.
Last week, Apple unveiled its latest mobile operating system at the annual Worldwide Developer Conference in San Francisco.
iOS 7 takes on a brand new look with a flatter and cleaner design. It is also loaded with new features like a new control center that lets you access your Bluetooth, Wi-Fi, and various settings.
Though the new iOS 7 will only be available to everyone much later, iOS developers are already trying out the new user interface.
This week on Tech Watch, we asked developers here what they think about the new features of iOS 7.
It's very far in the other direction, right? Because Apple has been known to have all these like rich textures, like little one pixel, shadows and highlights and everything. And now it's all gone, and no shadows whatsoever in most of the operating system. And some people are complaining that there's some inconsistencies because there's still some shadows like lying around here and there. I think maybe partly because everyone was working to get this out, and there wasn't some like unified theme or anything. Just make it simpler, and yeah, who knows what's going to happen between now and September. All the little toggles to switch on your Wi-Fi and Bluetooth, everything is very similar to what Android has had for quite a while. But I think it's seems like a logical progression, at least for them, because like they've been talking about how we want to put content first. We want to make the experience better for everyone. So if that's what makes the experience better for everyone, then and they've seen the feedback, then I guess that's what they move towards.
Raise the bar and our cause to the stars.
We feel that as we played around with the new interface, it felt more fluid and more natural. And I think that's going to let people have a more intuitive experience with it. Now swiping on the side now brings you backwards, and you don't really have to tap the back screen. So in other words, you don't really have to move your fingers that much. Right? So with less movement, and you used to have to reach the top left-hand corner to hit the back button. Right now, wherever your thumb is, you can just swipe it and it goes back. Now the iPhone starts to have a little bit of this direct manipulation feel about it. I think that's going to change the way people interact with iPhone apps.
Reading through the developer documentation, there's a lot of emphasis on using this dynamic text. There's a new feature where you can resize your text, and to me that seems like a hint that maybe you might want to consider having your text be resizable depending on the screen size and things like that. So kind of like last year when they announced there was this new feature called auto layout. Right. So it's an automatic layout mechanism. They used to be done one way, and then they switched to another method last year. And that was even before they announced the taller 5S screen. And it was kind of a hint that that the 5S was coming, the 5 was coming. So who knows what's going to happen this year?
We might see a bigger iPhone. And
we might see a different resolution. I think a bigger iPhone, they can do it without a different resolution, right? They can do it at the same resolution as the iPad 4, right? Just make it bigger. But they might even venture into different resolutions entirely. That's a possibility. It'll make me a bit sad because that means more screen sizes to prepare for, but it's a possibility.
I think there's been some rumors about whether it's going to be in color and so on. And I think that would probably fit with the new iOS being so lively and so on.
Or bigger.
Or possibly bigger. We think that some of the APIs that are built and announced at WWDC, for example, dealing with text scaling, some of those things may be related to an attempt sometime in the future to make larger screen iPhones. I'm sure a lot of people have been telling Apple that they need to do that. Tim Cook himself has said that they don't close off that possibility in the future. So who knows, right?
iOS 7 was not the only unveiling. Apple announced iTunes Radio to challenge other internet radio services like Spotify, which was recently launched here.
Mac users are also treated to the new Mac Pro. Unlike traditional desktops, the Mac Pro takes a cylindrical shape. The new Mac Pro uses Intel's powerful Xeon processor and is touted to be 2 times faster than the previous generation.
If you are eyeing the lightweight MacBook Air, good news. A new MacBook Air was also announced, upgraded with Intel's 4th generation S1 processor. It is also touted with a 9-hour battery life for the 11-inch version and a 12-hour battery life for the 13-inch version.
Mac OS users can also expect an update. Unlike previous generations, the new Mac OS is not named after a cat. Called Mavericks, the updated Mac OS sports a new UI for its calendar and lets you reply to a message on your notifications.
These are just some of the announcements at this year's WWDC. Learn more about iOS 7, Mac OS 10 Mavericks, the new Mac Pro and MacBook Air in this week's Digital Live.